Hey everybody, you might remember my very first episode of 4 films in which I talked about 4 comedies that were overrated. Well, now I'm going to be a little bit more on the positive side of life, and we're going to talk about 4 films that are underrated. First up is The Lost Skeleton of Cadaver. This is a great comedy and an excellent homage to the B-monster movies of the 1950s. Plus, I already love skeletons, so it gets extra points. The story goes like this. Paul, a scientist, and his wife Betty are looking for an element known as atmospherium. You know, for science. There's also some greedy jerk who wants it for his own personal gain, and of course the lost skeleton of Cadaver wants it for possibly world domination. I know he wants to be brought back to life, but I can only assume it's world domination. I mean, what else would you do if you were a powerful skeleton reanimated? There's also the 2 aliens, Lattice and Crowbar, who need the atmospherium to power their ship. So, as you can already tell, this movie pretty much has everything you could ever ask for. Now, it might seem a little slow in parts, but if I had to rate this, I'd still give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, the slow structure in itself is part of the parody of those old films. A lot of times, films from the 50s, even up to the 70s, had a lot of pacing issues, and they weren't really remedied until the 80s when things started to get cut a bit more. Kind of like the slasher films. Coincidence? I think so. But yes, you should really check out this film if you haven't watched it. I love it. And skeletons! It's got skeletons. Well, just one, but he's awesome. I sleep now. Next up is the 2003 biopic American Splendor. It's about a real-life average schmuck named Harvey Pekar. He's very frustrated with life and all the garbage that comes with it, but through creating his own underground comic books, he finds a healthy and interesting and creative way to vent. This movie is hilarious. It's also a very bizarre and surreal film in some parts because you have a narrator, which is the actual Harvey Pekar, talking about the guy playing him, who's played by, of course, the great Paul Giamatti. And this movie does have its touching and depressing moments, which are part of all great films, but really this movie is just so damn funny. I mean, its humor is on par with classic Simpsons in terms of quick, just knockout lines that'll have you rolling on the floor laughing. Or possibly having an early heart attack. I mean, I don't know how strong your heart is. I hope it's strong. Much like The Lost Skeleton of Cadaver, I highly recommend this film. You need to check it out. Do it. Just go. Third is this star of the movie's legitimate best film. There's no cheese to be had. It is 100% serious, and it's awesome. The film I'm talking about is 8mm, starring the mysterious and powerful Nicolas Cage. In this dark story, Cage has to try to solve a crime that is at least 6 years old by watching a potentially real snuff film. Now, if you don't know what a snuff film is, it's basically killing someone on camera, usually with weird sexual things involved. I can't recommend those. And in the film, Cage gets some help from a young, blue-haired Joaquin Phoenix. This film was written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who wrote Seven, and directed by Joel Schumacher. Now, that kind of combo creates a really interesting story. My light is freaking out. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Another strong point of the film is the fact that Nicolas Cage actually cares. He's not being goofy. He's not overacting. He's just actually caring about his role and playing it serious. And he's not a big action hero in this or anything. He's actually very vulnerable and very scared, and he finds his own inner strength and conviction to finish the case. Look at this. Look at this shit. It's possessed. So this is truly an underrated classic film, and this is actually the Nicolas Cage that the world needs. Last but not least is the film Night Watch, starring Ewan McGregor, Josh Brolin, Patricia Arquette, Nick Nolte, and it even has a weird small role for John C. Reilly. Yeah, I was confused too. It even has that girl from the Gilmore Girls. I don't know her name. Now this film is actually a remake of, I believe, a Danish film called Night Vanguarden, which I guess is Night Watch. And the writer-director, Ole Bornedal, I could be saying that wrong. He's the one who directed this movie, so he remade his own movie, which I think is kind of cool. Anyway, Ewan McGregor stars as Martin, the law student who is strapped for cash, and he takes a position as a night watchman at a medical hall. This includes, of course, a morgue. Now that might not sound very spooky, but really, the atmosphere of this film is almost a character itself. The darkness, the light, the sound, the wind, all of it is just very genuinely spooktastic. And I don't take that lightly. So again, what's so spooky about him working at a spooky place? That doesn't necessarily mean anything will happen, right? Well, it just so happens that a serial killer has a connection to the place he's working at. Now, I don't want to give anything away. I know the film is, 20-something years old now? But you need to go check it out. It's fantastic. Night Watch. Well, that's it for this episode. So, take care and have a good night. I'm going to clean up the place and keep a little Night Watch going. So late. Come on, you. We gotta go to bed. Wow, what the hell's wrong with my eyes? Oh, that's better.